Have you ever seen 7 suns in the sky? This happened in China. Or a perfect black ring floating in the sky, like a smoke signal from another world. Or watch the strange bubble trails spinning through water, like a mini tornado dancing on the surface. What about fire falling down a cliff in California, just like a glowing waterfall? There are places where clouds come down so low they touch the sea. Have you ever seen a place where you can see the Milky Way with the naked eye? Some oceans don't wave, they form perfect squares. In the mountains, ice grows like sharp blades, forming a frozen army. There's even a tree that bleeds red when cut. Imagine a wall of dust taller than the Burj Khalifa racing across the desert. Or standing by a sea that suddenly turns bright green. Or watched sand pour from a cliff like a waterfall. These are not stories from fiction. They're rare natural events that really happened. And today, some of them are still not fully understood, while others are so rare scientists wait years to see them. Today, we will show you all of them. Some are beautiful, some are scary, but all of them are unforgettable. Let's dive in. Number 20. Manatee Bubble Trails. If you ever see strange bubble trails in calm waters in Florida or the Amazon, don't worry about it. It's likely a manatee swimming nearby. Manatees, also called sea cows, are gentle, slow-moving animals that live in warm coastal areas. When they swim just below the surface, they often leave behind bubble trails that look like soft paths in the water. This happens because their large bodies push water, and trapped air from their skin or fur creates small bubbles. Sometimes these trails stretch out like underwater roads. Boaters and drone pilots often spot them and follow the trails to find manatees. During mating season, the bubbles get more dramatic. Mating herds of males chase a single female, leaving wide, bubbly trails. It's beautiful to see from above. Unlike dolphins or whales, manatees are quiet and shy. They don't jump or splash, so these bubble trails are often the only clue they're nearby. In places like Crystal River, USA, these peaceful paths are a common winter sight. Number 19. Massive Roll Cloud. On June 29, 2025, people on Portugal's center coast witnessed a rare weather event. A giant roll cloud stretching across the sky like a dark tsunami. First seen off Figueira da Foz, it moved south towards Barcos, surprising beachgoers. This cloud, called a volutus, is one of the rarest Arcus clouds. Added to the International Cloud Atlas in 2017, it formed during one of Portugal's worst heat waves, with inland temperatures over 46 degrees Celsius or 116 Fahrenheit. When cool, moist Atlantic air met the hot, dry inland air, the clash caused the cloud to form. It rolled through the sky like a tube, spanned over 150 kilometers, blocked the sun, and brought strong winds that stirred sand and shook umbrellas. Portugal's IPMA confirmed the event. It later triggered short storms, heavy winds, and even hail. Videos went viral, and major outlets like the Washington Post covered the story. Scientists warned that due to climate change, such extreme cloud events may become more common. Number 18. Black Ring Smoke Clouds. Imagine standing outside and seeing a giant dark ring floating silently across the sky. No sound, no plane, just a perfect smoke ring that disappears minutes later. These rings, called black smoke vortexes, form when an explosion pushes smoke through a round structure like a chimney or circular tower. They've been seen after firework accidents, transformer explosions, and even at military training sites. In 2014, a teenage girl in the UK filmed one above a local park. It lasted a few minutes before fading. Scientists say it likely came from fireworks at a nearby event. In Kazakhstan, a huge ring was seen over a burning industrial plant, and the video went viral. While they look creepy or alien, they're usually caused by combustion and air pressure. Their perfect shape and quiet movement make people stop and stare. When they appear in clear skies, they often cause panic or UFO rumors, even though they can be explained by basic physics. Number 17. 7 suns in the sky. In January 2021, people in Inner Mongolia saw something unbelievable: 7 glowing suns in the sky at once. Videos quickly went viral, but this wasn't magic or fake. It was a rare natural phenomenon called a sundog or parhelion. It happens in freezing weather when sunlight passes through ice crystals high in the sky. The crystals bend the light and create bright spots on each side of the sun. That day, the event was strong. 3 halos appeared on both sides, making it look like 7 suns. This event matched an old Chinese legend about 10 suns rising together, causing disasters, until a hero shot down 9. Meteorologists confirmed the sight was caused by cold air and perfect light angles. The same event has also been seen in Russia and Canada, but this one was so clear, even celebrities and news outlets shared it worldwide. It lasted about 20 minutes before fading back to 1 sun. Number 16. Yosemite Firefall. For a few days in February, a waterfall in Yosemite National Park looks like it's flowing with lava, but it's really just sunlight. This rare event is called the Yosemite Waterfall. It happens when the setting sun hits Horsetail Fall at just the right angle. The waterfall glows orange and red, but only if there's enough water, the sky is clear, and the sun sets at the perfect angle. When all of this lines up, the light makes the water shine like fire pouring down the cliff. Photographers and nature lovers from around the world come to see it. The glow lasts about 10 minutes each evening, and only for about 2 weeks each year. It looks like a lava fall, but it's all about perfect timing. The original firefall in Yosemite was man-made. People pushed burning embers off a cliff in the 1800s for shows. That stopped in 1968. The natural firefall was discovered later, and it's even more stunning because it's made entirely by nature.
15th White Auroras. On April 10, 2024, people in Fairbanks, Alaska saw something extremely rare: a white aurora visible to the naked eye. Unlike common green or purple auroras caused by solar particles hitting oxygen and nitrogen, this one appeared completely white. Experts from the University of Alaska Fairbanks confirmed it was a true aurora, not fog or moonlit clouds. It happened during a strong geomagnetic storm caused by a coronal mass ejection, CME, from the sun. The white color likely came from a very faint green aurora overpowered by bright moonlight, making it look white. White auroras are so rare that most past sightings happened before color photography existed. Only a few have been confirmed in the last 100 years. The April 2024 event went viral, with photographers capturing it using special filters. NASA and NOAA said such events are possible during high solar activity, especially in clear, cold places like Alaska. It's one of the rarest auroras ever recorded, a vertondrar. Even scientists may wait decades to see it. 14th Square Waves. Ocean waves usually move in smooth lines, but in rare places they cross each other to form perfect grids on the water's surface, like a giant checkerboard. These are called square waves. They happen when 2 wave systems meet from different directions. This usually occurs far out at sea, but sometimes it reaches the shore. The result is a crisscross pattern that can stretch for hundreds of meters. A famous place to see this is off the coast of Ile de Ré in France. Tourists visit to watch this rare pattern form under the right wind and tidal conditions. While they look calm from above, square waves can be dangerous for swimmers and small boats. The crossing waves create strong currents, making it hard to stay balanced. Lifeguards often warn people to stay out of the water during these times. Scientists study square waves using satellite images and ocean models. 13th, bleeding tree. Deep in the forests of Africa, there's a tree that looks like it's alive in a creepy way. When its bark is cut, a thick red liquid flows out, just like blood. This is the bloodwood tree, also called Pterocarpus angolensis. The sap is dark red and drips slowly, especially when the tree is hurt. Locals have used it for centuries in traditional medicine, treating wounds, infections, and stomach problems. Some cultures believe the tree has healing or spiritual powers because it bleeds. The red sap is completely natural and full of tannins, which help the tree fight off insects and disease. In some areas, the dried sap is used as dye. The wood from the bloodwood tree is also valuable. People use it to make furniture, carvings, and musical instruments, and it keeps its deep reddish color. The tree doesn't move or scream, but the sight of it bleeding is enough to give anyone a chill. It really looks alive in a strange way. 12th, rainbow eucalyptus. In some tropical forests, certain trees look like they've been painted with rainbow colors. These are called rainbow eucalyptus trees, real, living trees with multicolored bark that peels away in layers, showing bright green, red, orange, purple, and blue streaks. They are native to the Philippines, Indonesia, and Papua New Guinea, but are also grown in Hawaii and southern Florida. The colors come from how the bark sheds. As the tree grows, it peels in strips at different times. Fresh bark is bright green, and over time, it turns into other colors, creating a rainbow effect. Many people think the trees are painted, but they are 100% natural. After rain, the colors look even brighter and shinier. A full forest of them looks like a living art gallery, with tall, smooth trunks glowing in rainbow shades. 11th, green sea. Sometimes coastlines turn bright green, not from pollution, but from a huge rise in tiny ocean plants. This is called a chlorophyll water bloom, caused by a fast growth of phytoplankton, tiny plant-like organisms that float in the sea. When they multiply quickly, they can turn large parts of the water into glowing green shades. These blooms are so big they can be seen from airplanes and even satellites. In 2020, NASA shared amazing photos of bright green water near Iceland. Similar blooms often happen in the Arabian Sea and the Baltic region. Phytoplankton are usually helpful and make oxygen, but when they grow too fast, they can harm the ocean. The water may lose oxygen, and fish can die in large numbers. Some blooms even glow at night, a different effect called bioluminescence. But during the day, it's chlorophyll that makes the green color. It's a rare moment where tiny life forms paint the sea like a living canvas. 10. Brinicle. Under Antarctica's frozen surface, something eerie forms in the deep. A deadly icicle that sinks slowly through the sea and kills everything it touches. It's called a brinicle, short for brine icicle, and it looks like a finger of ice reaching down from the sea ice above. Brinicles form when salty, freezing cold brine leaks from the sea ice. Because it's colder and denser than seawater, it sinks. As it drops, it freezes the water around it, creating a tube of ice that grows downward, like a frozen stalactite underwater. This process is extremely slow and almost never seen. In 2011, the BBC's Frozen Planet team captured it on camera for the first time ever. As the brinicle touched the ocean floor, it froze everything in its path, including starfish and sea urchins that couldn't move fast enough. Brinicles can stretch several meters long, but they vanish once ocean conditions change. They're proof that even the deep sea has hidden traps, silent, slow, and impossible to escape. Before proceeding to our next selection, we invite you to explore our video on 25 most wonderful places in the world now. Back to our list. 9. Waterspouts. A waterspout looks like a tornado over water, spinning columns of air and mist that stretch from the clouds down to the sea. They form when cold air moves over warm water, creating a rotating updraft. Most of them are harmless and only last a few minutes, but some, especially tornadic waterspouts, can be dangerous. These can suck up small fish, seaweed, and spray them inland. In 2010, a waterspout hit the Australian coast and lifted boats off the shore. In 2020, one appeared off the coast of Florida and looked so perfect it seemed fake. But it was very real. Waterspouts are common in places like the Florida Keys, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Mediterranean Sea. Some are so thin and tall that they look like ropes hanging from the sky. Others appear wide and dark, moving fast across the water. Fishermen often report seeing them while at sea, and satellite photos have captured multiple waterspouts forming at once, like nature's spinning army. Penitentes. High up in the Andes Mountains, you'll find something that looks like a frozen army of blades. These are called penitentes. They're tall, thin, and jagged spikes of snow or ice, often pointing toward the sun. Some grow as tall as a human, others reach over 5 meters, 16 feet high. Penitentes form when the sun's rays hit snow under very dry and cold conditions. Instead of melting into water, the snow turns straight into vapor, a process called sublimation. This leaves behind the sharp ice formations. You'll mostly find them in Chile and Argentina, especially above 4,000 meters, 13,000 feet in elevation. They were named penitentes because they look like monks wearing white robes, kneeling in prayer. Explorers and mountaineers have to carefully move through these fields because the spikes are sharp and tightly packed. NASA scientists even study penitentes on Earth to understand similar patterns they think might exist on icy moons like Europa. So these frozen towers might hold clues for space exploration. Talking about natural phenomena, you can also check out our video on 10 most wonderful natural phenomena in the world. 7. Candle ice phenomenon. During spring, something magical happens on frozen lakes and rivers. The solid ice breaks into thin, vertical crystals that look like candles standing side by side. This is called candle ice. It forms when temperatures rise and sunlight melts the ice from within. Instead of melting evenly, the ice splits into long, narrow columns. These candle-like pieces often stand upright and make a soft, tinkling sound when wind or water moves them, like thousands of tiny glass wind chimes. Fishermen and locals usually notice it first, as walking on it feels spongy and unsafe. When it breaks, it falls apart in columns, not chunks. Candle ice is also dangerous. It may look solid from above, but it's actually very fragile. But when sunlight hits it, the ice glows golden and clear, making lakes look like they're covered in frozen fireworks. It's beautiful and short-lived. 6. A massive sandstorm, Haboob. Imagine the sky turning orange or dark brown, and a wall of dust taller than a skyscraper rushing toward you. That's a haboob, one of the most powerful and scary sandstorms in nature. The word comes from Arabic and means blasting or drifting. These storms form when cold air from a thunderstorm hits dry, loose desert sand. The strong wind pushes sand and dust high into the air, creating a fast-moving wall that can stretch for miles. Haboobs are common in the Sahara, Arabian Peninsula, Arizona, and parts of Australia. In 2011, a huge haboob hit Phoenix, Arizona, with a dust wall over 1.5 kilometers 1 mile high and 160 kilometers 100 miles wide. It turned day into night in seconds. These storms can stop traffic, shut down airports, and make it hard to see or breathe. The dust gets into engines, electronics, and lungs, making it dangerous. Satellites often show haboobs rolling across deserts, covering towns in minutes. It's nature's sand wave, and you can't escape it. Dual-tone skies. Sometimes the sky splits into two different colors, one side bright blue, the other dark gray or golden. This rare event is called a dual-tone sky. It looks like someone drew a line across the sky and painted each side differently. It happens when two weather systems meet. One side has clear skies, while the other has clouds or a storm. The sun's angle also plays a big role. It may shine on one side while the other stays in shadow. Photos of these skies often go viral because they look so unreal. Half the sky was a bright orange sunset. The other half was deep blue. It looked like a movie scene, but it was 100% natural. Pilots often see this effect more clearly from above. It's easiest to notice in places with flat landscapes like deserts or large lakes. 4. Sand waterfall. In the deserts of Saudi Arabia, China, or the American Southwest, sand sometimes flows down cliffs like water. These are called sand waterfalls, and they look like golden waterfalls made of dry, soft sand. They usually happen after windstorms loosen sand on high dunes or cliffs. Then, gravity pulls the sand down in layers. Sometimes, the top layer suddenly collapses, creating a fast sand fall that moves like liquid. It may last just a few seconds, but it's an incredible sight. One of the best places to see this is Antelope Canyon in Arizona. On windy days, sand flows through the narrow canyon walls, glowing as it falls. Unlike real waterfalls, sand waterfalls are silent and soft. But the way they move, smooth, wavy, and glowing in the sun, feels almost magical. If you're lucky, you can catch the perfect video or photo that captures this beautiful illusion. 3. Giant poplar fluff fire. In late spring, some poplar trees release huge amounts of white, fluffy seeds that cover the ground like snow. But here's the surprising part. This fluff is highly flammable. Just a small spark can start a fast-spreading fire, known as a poplar fluff fire. The fluff is made of cellulose and contains natural oils, which makes it burn almost instantly. People have recorded videos of sidewalks, parks, and streets catching fire in seconds, just from a dropped match or cigarette. In 2023, a park in Moscow caught fire due to poplar fluff, and the flames raced across the grass like someone lit a fuse. The fire didn't burn trees or damage buildings. On its own, poplar fluff doesn't cause wildfires, but in hot, dry weather, it becomes a serious fire risk. Some cities even send teams to clean it up during peak season. It may look like harmless snow, but it's really nature's soft white firecracker. Second starriest skies on Earth. If you think you've seen stars, wait until you visit places like Chile's Atacama Desert or Iran's Lut Desert. These places have no light pollution, dry air, and clear skies, making them the best spots on Earth to see stars with the naked eye. On a moonless night, the Milky Way stretches across the sky like a glowing river. You can also see planets, shooting stars, and even galaxies without a telescope. In the Atacama, scientists have built some of the world's most powerful observatories because the sky is so clear. People travel thousands of kilometers just to camp under these skies. Time-lapse videos show the stars spinning above while the land stays still. It feels like Earth is standing under a glowing roof. In 2024, travel bloggers and space lovers called it a real-life planetarium. It's one of those rare sights that looks even better in person than on any screen. 1. Secret underwater air pocket. Imagine diving deep into the ocean and finding a hidden cave. This is called a submerged air pocket, a rare place where air gets trapped inside underwater caves or lava tubes. These pockets form when waves push air into cracks and sealed spaces. Over time, this air stays trapped, creating a bubble you can actually enter. Some are found in cenotes in Mexico, underwater caves in Norway, or volcanic areas in Hawaii. The roof traps the air, so even though you're surrounded by water, it feels like standing in a natural bubble. It's one of the strangest and most amazing sights, like finding air where it doesn't belong, deep underwater. That's it for today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next episode of Forever Green.